Welcome. As you watch this video, you should have a site induction form and an induction examination in front of you, and your company's method statement and risk assessment sign-off sheet. At GEDA, we endeavour to improve the image of construction. All our sites aim to comply with the Considerate Constructor Scheme Code of Practice. This code seeks to improve the image of the construction industry by striving to promote and achieve best practice. It's made of 5 sections: enhancing the appearance, respecting the community, protecting the environment, securing everyone's safety, caring for the workforce. To work on this site, you must be inducted and have a valid health and safety card. When using plant equipment, you must have a valid operator's card, and all plant must have a valid inspection certificate. The sign-in book is located in the canteen or office. You must sign in each morning and out each evening. Otherwise, others may risk their lives trying to find someone who is not on site in the event of an emergency. GEDA aims to provide you with a safe workplace. Our safety policy is displayed in the site office and is regularly updated. If you have any safety concerns, contact the site manager. Don't let a hazard become an accident. You have a responsibility for your own safety and that of others. You must obey the site rules, which are posted in the office and canteen. The emergency procedures are posted on the wall in the canteen and site office. You need to familiarise yourself with the emergency procedures, as time saved could be a life saved. Fire extinguishers are located in the canteen, site office and at main access routes within buildings. Do not remove them unless you have permission from the site manager or there is a fire. Only discharge extinguishers if you are competent and safe. Do not use foam or water on electrical fires. In the event of an emergency evacuation, go to the muster and assembly point and wait there until your name has been checked off the register. Your muster and assembly point is shown on the top of your site induction form. All accidents and incidents and dangerous occurrences must be reported to the site manager and recorded in the accident book. GEDA has a system for recording hazard observations on this site. It is important that these are reported and recorded with the site manager. You'll be helping to avoid potential injuries or damage. If you see something dangerous on site, report it or make it safe. Don't ignore it. You have a moral and legal duty for the safety of yourself and others. Look out for exposed edges, floor voids or openings, electricity and unsafe plant and equipment. Facilities provided on this site include a microwave, kettle and toaster, a toilet and washroom, and a drying room. Please clean up after yourself and look after these facilities. Anyone abusing them will be asked to leave the site. Your first aiders on this site are listed on top of the site induction form. GEDA first aiders have a first aider sticker on their hard hat. The first aid box is located in the site manager's office. Smoking is only permitted in the designated smoking area. Smoking is not allowed in buildings, site huts, near flammables or in company vehicles. Cigarette smoking is harmful to others, as well as being a fire risk. Mobile phones and other communication devices may only be used in safe areas away from plant, vehicles and busy workplaces. Radios and personal music devices are also not allowed on site, as these too can affect your concentration. You will not be permitted to work on this site if you are suspected of being under the influence of drugs or alcohol, as you could be a danger to yourself and others. Random testing takes place on this site. If you refuse the test or test positive, you may be asked to leave the site for your own safety. Use any designated access routes provided. Keep a safe distance from plant and make sure any drivers can see you. Keep all routes clear and accessible. You are responsible for keeping your work area clean and tidy. Slips and trips are the biggest cause of injury in construction, so good housekeeping is essential. Remember to turn off heaters and lights when not in use. Minimum protection on this site includes a hard hat, safety footwear with steel toe and midsole protection, and high visibility clothing. Your employer must provide you with all necessary PPE. You must take proper care of it and report defective items. GEDA can supply PPE to subcontractors, but this will be charged for. Specialist PPE such as safety harnesses and respirators should be worn where there is a risk and only by competent persons. Do not use hazardous substances unless you are competent to do so and a COSH assessment has been carried out. Ensure that you are wearing proper PPE correctly and you have adequate ventilation and storage so you don't expose others. Make sure you know what to do in an emergency and you consult the safety datasheet accordingly. If you suspect asbestos is present, stop work immediately. Contact the site manager and do not disturb the material. Permits will be required from the site manager for high-risk operations. These include hot works, confined space entry, entry to deep excavations and trenches, and digging. Always think before you dig. Make sure the area has been surveyed for any underground services before commencing excavations. Make sure services have been marked out. Make sure you have been briefed and have clear copies of marked up drawings with you. Obtain a permit to dig. Always use CAT and GENI to locate the services accurately and only use hand digging within 0.5 metres of known or suspected services. No excavation works will be permitted until a permit has been issued by the site manager. Overhead and underground services on this site will be investigated as part of this permit. Be aware of any excavations on site and keep a safe distance if walking or driving plant. Do not take shortcuts over or through excavations. Only enter excavations if you are competent and have been authorised by the site manager. Only 110 volt or cordless tools can be used on this site. Anything with a higher voltage must be authorised by GEDA. When using any plant, be aware of overhead and underground services. Do not tamper with electrical equipment unless you are trained and competent. Different types of dust can be found on a construction site. Silica, from concrete, wood, lower toxicity dust, from plasterboard. Breathing in these dusts increases the damage to your lungs and airways and could lead to lung cancer. Control the dust. Water. Use water bottle for dust suppression. Do not dry sweep. Dampen with water. On-tool extraction. RPE, FFP3 mask or equivalent. GEDA sites do not allow dust to be generated. Only competent persons may use or change discs on grinders, consaws or other abrasive tools. All guards must be in place and correctly adjusted. Wheel changes must be recorded on the abrasive wheels register. Avoid working at height where possible. Do not work near exposed edges without fall arrest equipment and proper training. Only use suitable access equipment and do not use unsafe platforms such as crates or chairs. All access equipment must be fit for purpose and checked before use. Ladders must be an industrial type, Class 1 or commercial grade EN 131. Domestic ladders must not be used on this site. Only trained scaffolders or those authorised by the site manager may remove or alter scaffold components. Do not overload scaffold or trestles. Report any dangerous scaffold or planks immediately. When using scaffolds, use the safe access points provided. At the access points, look for an up-to-date scaff tap. All fuel brought onto site must be stored in a double-bunded bowser or tank and have a secured locking facility to avoid damage or spillage. No unauthorised persons to use GEDA fuel tanks without permission. All plant must be well maintained and in good working order. Test certificates must be made available to GEDA for all lifting appliances and accessories used on site. All plant has a weekly check sheet that must be kept up to date. You are responsible for your own waste. You must have a waste carrier's licence and tip licence if applicable. All waste leaving this site must be accompanied by a waste transfer note. It is GEDA policy that waste is reduced, reused, recycled or recovered, and as a last resort, landfilled responsibly. We expect all subcontractors to apply this hierarchy to their waste also. If permitted to use the skips on site, don't contaminate them with other waste. With waste, remember that all GEDA skips are labelled. Plasterboard must be kept separate from other waste. and that you should use the recycling facilities provided in the canteen. If working near a watercourse, nothing should be allowed to enter the water without the site manager's permission. Familiarise yourself with the site's environmental layout plan, showing drain and emergency response locations. You should use the designated area on all sites for washing out lorries, wheels or brushes. Spill kits and spill trays are provided on site. All spills must be reported to the site manager. GEDA aims to provide the highest level of service to clients and any other parties which its operations may affect. All subcontractors are expected to provide the same. Remember, when working on site, you should work safely, think of others' safety, report unsafe equipment and activities, and not take unnecessary risks.